Use Derma-1 daily to improve your own facial complexion. It's just a great, fresh feeling. I can't tell you enough about how much I love my Derma-1. Try Derma-1 yourself, risk-free for 30 days. Plus, receive over 40 pounds worth of Derma-Tab skincare free. If you're entirely refund, Derma-1 really can help your face feel younger and look younger. So call the number on your screen or order online now at derma1.co.uk. No Pro is up to no hair with no pain. It doesn't hurt, and it gives you the smooth skin that you're after. Use pain-free No on your unwanted hair.
I've always been self-conscious of my hairline, so putting my hair back, this will be perfect for me.
With millions of satisfied customers around the world, you'll love No too.
I've been self-conscious about my upper lip hair, but having No has made me not worry.
Oh my God. Thank you.
And No Pro delivers an even greater thermal pulse to each hair, all with no pain. Can't believe the difference, Al. It's almost hair-free. And get this, 97% of users will recommend No to a friend.
Wow.
100% safe. No works on your face, around your chin and lip areas, also under your eyes, and
Right down there.
And lots of other places. And No works on all skin types and hair colors. And men use No too. Now that I'm trying it, feels completely painless. I don't consider myself a vain person by any means, but I've always been very self-conscious about the hair growth on my back. Finding the No changed everything. 97% of users rated No as their all-in-one hair removal solution. And you too can get great-looking results.
Just try No. I did. I saw the adverts.
Oh my God. It
worked for me. It works.
I love this.
It's amazing.
Cool, go online now to order No Pro and receive No Smooth After Treatment Hydrating Moisturizer. Also receive this LED beauty tip to perform full facial treatments. Call or go online for the sensational 30-day money-back guarantee TV-only offer and receive No Smooth plus the LED beauty tip. Together, these two additional beauty products are worth £68.
I give it up my mum, but I'm going to lie it and I'm going to enjoy it.
Since 1931, 5 families have run New York's Italian-American mafia, the most prolific organized crime unit in the world. Now, undercover detective...
As long as you want to display yourself, I will want to watch it.
Sort of a folk hero.
Oh. Come on, lie down on top of him.
Monday the 19th of August.
Yeah, man. I've seen you. We should have started counting.
In occupied Poland, a secret aid organization is in a race against time.
I'll start counting now.
Jagota's mission was to save Jews from the
Go on.
before it's too late. The Nazis have already murdered 50 million people living in the Warsaw Ghetto.
Hey.
Facing extermination, thousands have escaped. They're homeless, hungry, and in desperate need of help.
5.
Jagota meets at 24 Giravia Street. Members like Adolf Berman report that countless brave Poles are helping escaped Jews. Poles like the Gavrish family, living on the outskirts of Warsaw.
6.
One day a man arrived with a small suitcase.
7.
He said he was a hairdresser and asked if he could cut someone's
8.
hair. My mum said that he could cut her son's hair. Whilst he was cutting his hair, he noticed a violin on the wall. He asked who played the violin. My mum said no one. She had bought it for the kids as her eldest son wanted to.
Feel like cold on my leg.
There was no one to teach him. He said, I'm not a hairdresser. I'm a violinist from the Warsaw Philharmonic. My mum asked if he could teach her son. He said he would love to, but he didn't live anywhere.
9.
Jew who had escaped from the Warsaw Mum said that he could come and live with us. And he could teach the kids. And if someone
Then
he could hide in the storeroom.
Adolf Berg recruits into Jagat hundreds of Poles dedicated to helping the Jews.
11,
Through them, Jagat are establishing a network of safe houses and channels money to purchase food and supplies to help
12,
but the business of saving lives is about to become deadly. The Nazis suspect a section of the Polish population is assisting Jews. They issue stern warnings, stating those caught providing help will be severely punished.
This is an announcement posted in Częstochowa by the town's prefect in September 1942. It aimed at the town's non-Jewish population. It reminds them Jews are forbidden to leave their ghettos without permission, and that doing so is punishable by death. It also reminds Polish people that helping Jews who've escaped from
15
ghettos is also punishable by death. So they could not give Jews shelter, they could not share food with them, or even sell it to them.
The Nazis hunt Poles suspected of helping Jews. Thousands pay the ultimate price for their kindness.
The Germans announced that any help given to a Jew was punishable by death.
yeah, I'm going to be working on one.
Entire
good night.
families, alongside those that they were trying
I'm
to
still
help.
here.
To this day, they are found in forests,
16,
in courtyards, in the countryside. The bones of
will you
those
recharging your batteries up
along
one?
with the bones of
17,
people tried to save.
18,
By late 1942, thousands of Jews
now you're showing off.
throughout Warsaw. Jagot's challenge is how to keep them secret from the Nazis. One solution is to give them a new identity. The Nazis decree every Pole must carry identity documents. One of the most important is the Kemper, an official
19,
record of an individual's personal information, including their ethnicity.
Every Kenkartę contains the same basic information. Place of
that's
issue,
20,
date
at
of
least,
expiry,
at least 20,
name, date and place of birth.
in 10
Name,
minutes.
profession and current profession.
8 minutes, 28 minutes.
Distinguishing marks, photo, fingerprint, signature, and the signature and stamp of the issuing office.
For a Jew, being caught outside the ghetto without identity papers is a death sentence.
When they decided to escape the ghetto, they needed documents that proved they were not of Jewish descent. So it was very
Time
important
to
for
sleep now.
them to possess
No,
documents stating a Polish name.
I look like I lost myself, but
It was a basic
good night, Mum.
requirement that
Good night, brother.
protected them
Good night,
and
Angel.
allowed them to live on the
Good night,
so-called
Elvis.
Aryan side.
Keep the weekend. The weekend.
Jagota treasurer Ferdinand
We've understood.
tapped into contacts within the Polish Home Army and joined the largest identity fraud in history.
So,
Home Army specialists forged thousands of fake Polish Kenkarty and other
let's
identities.
open people's eyes.
These are distributed to town officials working with the Polish underground who pass them on to criminals. Anna Sztyblicka-Banda and her mother regularly collect forged documents from their town hall to give to Jews in hiding.
I know there was collaboration between different groups. I sometimes went with somebody arranged the documents. The Auschwitz and they stamped them. A whole group of people were organizing this.
Целая группа людей заводила. Home army soldier Yusuf Galashchi is hiding his Jewish girlfriend Elena in a Warsaw apartment. He approaches sympathetic co-workers to provide her with a false identity.
I had a bachelor pad in Warsaw where I locked her in. I drove out to the factory in the countryside and said I had to get Aryan papers for her. Regardless of the price, I need them. And because they knew me well, and I worked with them, they told me to come back in 3 days. So, after 3 days, I went back, and they said, sure, here are the documents valid for 3 years with Aryan details. But there was one condition. She will have to become my wife and take my surname. Because they are risking their lives providing these documents, they want me to take the same risk. And so I agreed. I got documents and also a wife.
Thanks to the Home Army's mass forgery, by the winter of 1942, Żegota offers Jews hiding in Warsaw a degree of protection from the Nazis.
Mówi się, że w ciągu tych 12 miesięcy istnienia
It's said that within a few months of Żegota operating, they had produced 40,000 different types of documents. They were mostly Kenkata, but they also produced certificates of employment, food vouchers, and also birth and marriage certificates obtained from the church and signed by priests.
tak zwane certyfikaty urodzenia, które się brało w parafiach wystawione przez duchownych. Wielu
Thousands of people were living under assumed identities.
Possessing false papers allows Jews in hiding to better blend in with the Polish population. But they do not guarantee safety. Some people in Poland see Jews as a financial opportunity. Blackmailers, nicknamed Schmalzowniks, roam Poland's cities. They threaten Jews with a simple proposition: pay up or be handed over to the Nazis. A blackmailer visits Mikhail Głowinski and his family whilst they're hiding in Warsaw.
Tam przyszedł taki szantażysta.
One of those Smalkovniks, blackmailers, visited us and said, either you buy yourselves out or I will take you to the Gestapo. We agreed with this blackmailer, and that my mother and I would stay in the flat whilst my aunt went to get some money. This took time, a couple of hours. This man was sitting getting angry that he is losing time. I had a chessboard. I played chess with him. It sounds so literal now. A game like this was a game with death. But this is how it was. It happened. And during this game, my aunt returned. The game was left unfinished. He took the money and left.
On wziął tę sumę i wyszedł.
The Schmalzowniks are a lethal danger to Jews hiding in Warsaw. Żegota takes steps to combat them. It publishes denunciations in the Polish underground newspapers and successfully persuades the secret Polish underground government to take action.
władze polskie powołały specjalne sądy.
The underground Polish authorities created special courts to conduct investigations into any Poles collaborating with the Germans.
Pracowali z Niemcami.
It was always hard to get convincing evidence about what those people had done, and then, of course, to find them, to carry out the sentence.
Once the guilty person is identified, underground agents administer justice. They read the condemned their sentence before it's carried out from the barrel of a gun. The execution is always public, so every witness knows blackmailing a Jew
is an act of treason punishable by death. Thanks to Zegota and thousands of brave Poles, by late 1942, between 15 and 30,000 Jews live in hiding around Warsaw. But thousands still suffer inside the ghetto. Children are the most vulnerable. Many are defenseless, starving orphans. If any are to survive the Holocaust, Zegota must initiate a full-scale rescue operation.
How does Sam go?
Excellent, fantastic, unbelievable. Donald Trump is taught that Trumps are destined to win. He was tremendously driven by his father. It was war, and they were determined to win it.
The only money he had is what he borrowed from his father. You don't know what he's going to do next, and you can't stop watching.
Over the years, I've surprised a lot of people. The biggest surprise is yet to come. Part of When Presidents Go Bad, the Trump dynasty, starts Sunday at 9 on History.
Believe me, if I started murdering people, there'd be none of you left.
If you got out of here, there are a lot of people who think you'd go start killing again.
Again?
Charles Manson is literally one of the worst human beings that ever walked this planet.
I am very mad, and I don't know whether I can control myself.
Very scary people. Charles Manson, Tuesday the 20th of August on Crime Investigation.
Secret aid organization Zegota is in a race against time to save lives from the Nazis' final solution. Thanks to the organization's forgery operation, thousands of Jews now live outside the infamous Warsaw Ghetto under false identities. But around 60,000 are still trapped inside. Zegota is their last hope of avoiding transportation to the death camps. Reports reach Zegota headquarters that children inside the ghetto are the most vulnerable. Polish Home Army soldier Józef Walaszczyk smuggles himself into the ghetto and witnesses their suffering.
Warunki były okropne, niesamowite.
The conditions were horrible, unbelievable. The people were changing. They were thinner. They looked tragic. The streets were full of children, thin and begging. The sights were awful. My heart ached.
Zegota learns of brave Poles risking their lives to help save Jewish children. Anna Szczepnicka-Barno and her mother use special ghetto passes to rescue a Jewish family's youngest daughter.
Dziewczynka nazywała się Juliana Alter.
The girl's name was Juliana Alter. She was about my age. We changed coats with one another. Mother gave us the passes and said, walk purposefully past the nearest guard post. And so we did. We held our heads up high and we walked past the guard and through the ghetto gates. There was a carriage waiting to take us to Jolibosz. My mother returned the next day. And from this moment, Milka Alter was my cousin and was called Grisha Wojciechowna. And my mother had identification documents made for her.
The selfless actions of hundreds of Poles are saving the lives of Jewish children. But time is running out. Nazi troops enter the ghetto. They begin rounding up Jews for deportation. Many resist. The Nazis are driven away. It's clear the Nazis intend to exterminate the last of Warsaw's Jewish population. Saving as many children as possible from the ghetto is now critical. Żegota members Julian Grobelny and Adolf Berman approach a nurse called Irena Sandler.
When I met Irena, I did not know her name. She used a fake name, Yolanta. And when I met her, she was 31 and I was 20. She was a young, brave, and sympathetic woman. She simply didn't follow the Nazi orders. She was trying to do what she had always done, helping the poor and ill orphans. That's what she did.
Sendler runs a network of nurses that helps Jewish families trapped in the ghetto. They regularly smuggle in food and medical supplies for those most in need. Żegota gives Sendler a new mission: smuggle children out from the ghetto by any means possible.
Sendler worked to save children. She worked with 9 friends, who are all dead now, and social care professionals who had the correct legal documentation to enter the ghetto. Their problem was how to illegally get the children out. Boxes, sleeping, not sleeping, drugged, not drugged. They would smuggle kids who were orphans or whose parents wanted to get them out.
One of those rescued by Sendler's network is 6-month-old Elżbieta Fiksowska.
I was taken out of the ghetto on a brick cart. There was a wooden box in between the bricks, and there I lay, probably put to sleep by phenobarbital, as otherwise it would not be possible. There was a silver spoon with me. It was engraved with the name given to me by my Jewish parents, which was Elżunia. And on the other side of the spoon there was my date of birth engraved. I always say that it was my birth certificate. This is how I know when I was born.
Through Sendler's network, Żegota smuggles hundreds of Jewish children out from the ghetto. But the organization now has a major challenge: how to hide them and their identities from the Nazis. The Catholic Church steps in to help.
As an institution, the Catholic Church could not influence the fate of Jews. It could not send any letters or pronounce any acts of law. However, we know of many priests who played a very positive role in helping Jews by supplying falsified documents, birth certificates, and marriage certificates.
Thousands of Jewish children are given Catholic identities, and church institutions across Poland open their doors to feed and house them. Many are placed in orphanages run by nuns.
Most of the children brought to our convents were placed in orphanages. Hundreds of kids were passing through the convents. At that time, in the orphanage on Nowogrodzka Street, the Daughters of Charity said that there were days when they had more Jewish kids than Polish kids. Children were being left on stairs, in corridors, thrown through the fence. And Polish people who had taken them from the ghettos were bringing them into our orphanages.
Ekipy ludzi Polaków, którzy w sposób oficjalny wynosili dzieci z getta i przynosiły do naszych domów dziecka.
One of those Irena Sendler saves is Mikhail Głowicki. He is placed in a convent in southern Poland.
Tam było w sumie wtedy chyba ponad 200 dzieci.
There were over 200 children there. About 30 of them were Jewish. That is a lot.
Tam była
There was awful poverty.
Siostry i tak dokonywały.
The sisters really performed miracles so that there would not be real starvation.
Przygotowanie było bardzo.
Of course, people are raised very religiously. That is obvious.
Że wszystkie
Because this required secrecy, so all children received Catholic religious instruction. Because if they did not, they could be revealed. I remember the convent sisters I met with unusual gratitude and with wonder.
z podziwem, prawda?
Irena Sender notes down the Jewish name and fake Christian name of every child her network saves. She buries the records in her garden. She hopes one day they can be recovered and the children reunited with their families. Historians estimate that by the spring of 1943, Sender's network has placed hundreds of ghetto children in orphanages.
This is a very important contribution. Without the authority of Irena Sendler and authority of Żegota, it would have been very hard to carry out such actions. And the orphanages would be put in great danger if the Nazis discovered they were hiding Jewish children.
But tragically, Sendler's help will come too late for many of the ghetto's children. Nazi soldiers enter the ghetto. Their orders are to liquidate it as part of the final solution. One of Żegota's founding members, Henryk Wilinski, uses his contacts with the Home Army to smuggle weapons into the ghetto.
Everyone knew at the time that the Nazis would complete the elimination of the ghetto, and that results in better contacts between the Jewish and Polish underground movements. It was risky, but they managed to do it.
The Jews inside the ghetto fight back. For almost a month, battle rages between armed Jewish resistance groups and Nazi forces. But the uprising is crushed, and the ghetto's buildings razed to the ground. The Nazis murder thousands of Jews trapped in the ghetto. They transport thousands more to camps outside Warsaw. Żegota's network helps hide and feed those fortunate to escape the genocide. By the summer of 1943, tens of thousands of Jews live in hiding amongst the Polish population, protected by countless brave Poles. But for one of Żegota's key members, time has run out. In October 1943, the Gestapo come for nurse Irena Sender. They interrogate her at the infamous Praviak prison. If she breaks, she could reveal Żegota's existence, jeopardizing the organization's members and the lives of the thousands of Jews it saved.
Boldly seeking out new mysteries, we are entering a new era of discovery, probing into theories.
Element 115 produces its own gravitational energy.
We are not alone. With great power comes great responsibility. Giorgio is out there. Who knows what else we'll discover in the next 5 to 10 years? Ancient Aliens starts Tuesday at 10 on History.
My ex-wife had put it in a
A friend of mine kind of needs something taken care of.
Crime and Investigation explores the world of contract killing.
I just wanted to. You're watching a father talk about murdering the mother of his children.
You gotta go to prison. people probably don't realize how many serious crimes do get reported.
This is a real thing. It puts it all in perspective about just how evil people can be.
The brand new series, Murder for Hire, starts Wednesday at 9 on Crime and Investigation.
This is a planet in the making. A 4.5 billion-year-old creation that has become home. How the Earth was made starts Sunday at 8 on History 2.
In occupied Poland, a top-secret aid organization called Żegota is shielding thousands of Jews from death in the gas chambers. But the Nazis are closing in. Żegota members are in enemy hands. Should they reveal their mission, the organization will be exposed, jeopardizing the lives of those saved from the Holocaust. The Gestapo interrogate nurse Irena Sender. Her captors want the names of her accomplices in Żegota. Sender's network of nurses have smuggled out thousands of children from the Warsaw Ghetto. Many now live under false identities in Catholic orphanages across Poland. Sender has hidden lists of those she saved. She hopes one day they can reunite children with their families. The Gestapo tortures Sender, but the nurse refuses to talk. A strategy she knows will end with her murder.
Contact with Żegota is just as dangerous as any other form of giving help to Jews. It was defined by a regulation passed in October 1941 that any help offered to a Jew would be punished with death on the spot, for both the Jew in hiding and anyone who helps them. During the occupation, the Nazis passed death sentences on Poles who helped Jews.
The Gestapo sentenced Sender to death. She's thrown in a cell to await the execution of bullets. The Nazis rule Poland with an iron grip, but not for much longer. On the 6th of June 1944, Allied forces land in Normandy. From the east, Soviet forces sweep across Europe. By the end of July, the Red Army reaches the east bank of the river Vistula, Warsaw. The war has turned against Hitler. But there is one last twist in the story for Żegota and Warsaw's Jews. About 40,000 Polish Home Army soldiers launch a bid to liberate Poland's capital city. The Warsaw Uprising begins. The Poles enjoy early successes, but Nazi reinforcements gradually retake the city. Both Poles and Jews are caught up in the chaos.
The Nazis slowly start to pacify the area and its buildings. They catch people and begin deporting them from the city. The fate of the Jewish population is the same as the fate of Warsaw's citizens.
Historians estimate Up to 200,000 Polish civilians are killed. Possibly between 4,000 and 5,400 of these are Jews in hiding. After 63 days of fighting, the Nazis crush the upper hand. Hitler orders Warsaw razed to the ground and withdraws his armies. On the 17th of January 1945, Soviet forces enter Poland's capital. The Nazi occupation is over, and so is the work of Żegota. The Soviets now control Warsaw along with the rest of Poland. They crack down on elements they consider anti-communist. Former Żegota members face different fates. A few, like the organization's treasurer, Ferdynand Arczeński, are allowed to join the government. Others, like Zofia Kozak, the author of Protest, the essay that galvanized Polish help for the Jews, are warned to leave the country. Władysław Bartoszewski is arrested and sentenced to 8 years in prison for spying.
I think it was Stalin's hatred towards Poland and Polish people, a personal hatred. And feelings aren't a trivial matter when it comes to politicians at the top of totalitarian power. There is no resistance, there is no discussion. What I say is the law. There is no discussion, there is no other voice.
The communist authorities harass thousands of other ordinary Poles who risked everything to save Jews during the war. Among them is nurse Irena Sendler. In October 1943, she awaited execution, but she wasn't forgotten. Żegota agents bribed a prison guard and smuggled Sendler to safety. She unearths her bottles containing the names of children smuggled out from the ghetto. Jewish organizations use them to trace the children's parents, but many perished in Nazi death camps. Sendler's network saved around 2,500 children from the gas chambers. Not until the 1960s do Żegota members and the thousands of Poles who saved Jews receive recognition for their work during the Nazi occupation. Yad Vashem, Israel's monument to the victims of the Holocaust, bestows them with the title Righteous Among Nations.
Trzeba było ryzykować.
You had to take the risk and help. For me, it was because I felt empathy for them. I regarded it as my duty because they were Polish citizens, and I had to help.
Trzeba było pomagać.
I think that those who saved Jews and helped keep them alive were good and very brave people. But were they heroes? Now we say that they were, that this was heroic. But at that time, you did not perceive it that way. Back then, there was only the fear and having the responsibility for another human being.
Historians estimate Poles shielded between 50 and 300,000 Jews from the Holocaust. Around 4,000 in Warsaw received direct assistance from Żegota.
Gdybyśmy się zastanawiali, zadać sobie pytanie, czy
If we ask the question, would the Jews' fate have been the same if Żegota didn't exist?
nie istniała i nie powstała Żegota,
The answer is obvious. Without Żegota, the Jews' fate, especially of those in Warsaw, would have been more tragic.
nie powstała też.
Most probably, it would have been impossible if such an organization had not existed and had not been aided by the Polish underground. We should be proud of it.
Z której powinniśmy być dumni.
During the darkest days of Nazi occupation, thousands of everyday Poles helped their Jewish neighbors in the face of terrible odds. Their courage and compassion saved the lives of thousands of men, women, and children. They are heroes.
Since 1931, 5 families have run New York's Italian-American mafia, the most prolific organized crime unit in the world. Now, undercover detective Colin McLaren examines 6 notorious mobsters.
He became sort of a folk hero.
Sammy destroyed organized crime.
Even though he wasn't well built, he was a ferocious fighter. He was feared, yeah, he was the killer. He had a very weird double life.
It was all about power and money.
Mafia Killers starts Monday the 19th of August, brand new to history.
Believe me, if I started murdering people, there'd be none of you left.
If you got out of here, there are a lot of people who think you go start killing again.
Again?
Charles Manson is literally one of the worst human beings that ever walked this planet.
I am very mad, and I don't know whether I can control myself.
Very scary people. Charles Manson, Tuesday the 20th of August on Crime Investigation.
The signs of aging can make you look older than you feel, and the fight to keep your face feeling and looking younger can feel like a losing battle. Presenting Dermawan, a radiofrequency home beauty treatment that will help give you a younger feeling, younger looking face. Use Dermawan daily to treat the skin on your neck for a tighter, more even-toned appearance and more rejuvenated feel. I couldn't believe the difference. Without Dermawand, I'd still be hiding behind the scarves. Dermawand is easy to use, and your face will look more radiant, feel younger, and look younger. Dermawand's energy bulb delivers trioxygen and gentle microcurrents to the skin's surface at 100,000 cycles per second, so your skin feels tighter, looks smoother, healthier. Your face will feel younger and look younger. Plus, women who use Dermawand felt their skin folds' appearance had been reduced.
As a plastic surgeon, I work a lot with the skin, and it's amazing the difference I actually see in the patients that have had the Dermawan.
I know my skin looks great. The tone is there. I have a youthful glow. That's the one product I never want to be without. I love my Dermawan.
Improve your facial complexion and join the millions of women who already purchased Dermawan. Your skin will feel more refreshed and stimulated, improving the global appearance of your skin. Dermawan users felt their complexion look more even. They felt improved skin tone. Their skin felt more alive, with a moister, less dry feel. And users said they'd recommend Dermawan to their friends. Use Dermawan daily to improve your own facial complexion. It's just a great, fresh feeling. I can't tell you enough about how much I love my Dermawand. Try Dermawand yourself, risk-free for 30 days. Plus, receive over 40 pounds worth of Dermavital skincare, free. If you're not entirely happy, return it for a complete refund. Dermawand really can help your face feel younger and look younger. So call the number on your screen or order online now at dermawand.co.uk.
No Pro lives up to its promise of no hair with no pain.
It doesn't hurt, and it gives you the smooth skin that you're after.
Use pain-free No on your unwanted hair.
I've always been self-conscious of my hairline, so putting my hair back, this will be perfect for me.
With millions of satisfied customers around the world, you'll love No too.
I've been self-conscious about my upper lip hair, but having the No has made me not have to worry about
No Pro is based on a patented pulse thermocon technology, and No Pro delivers an even greater thermal pulse to each hair, all with no pain.
Can't believe the difference, Al. It's almost hair-free.
And get this, 97% of users would recommend No to a friend. 100% safe. No works on your face, around your chin and lip areas, also under your arms, and of course your legs, and lots of other places. And No works on all skin types and hair colors. And men use No too.
Now that I'm trying it, it feels completely painless.
I don't consider myself a vain person by any means, but I've always been very self-conscious about the hair growth on my back. Finding the No changed everything.
97% of users rated No as their all-in-one hair removal solution. And you too can get great-looking results.
Just try No. I did. I saw the adverts. I tried No. It worked for me. It works for my clients. It's amazing.
Call or go online now to order No Pro and receive No Smooth After Treatment Hydrating Moisturizer. Also receive this LED beauty tip to perform full facial treatments. Call or go online for this sensational 30-day money-back guarantee TV-only offer and receive No Smooth plus the LED beauty tip. Together, these two additional beauty products are worth £68. Call or click today. No hair with no pain.
How does Dan go?
Excellent. Fantastic. Unbelievable.
Donald Trump was taught that Trumps are destined to rule.
He was tremendously driven by his father. It was war, and they were determined to win it. The only money he had is what he borrowed from his father. You don't know what he's going to do next, and you can't stop watching.
Over the years, I've surprised a lot of people. The biggest surprise is yet to come.
Part of When Presidents Go Bad, the Trump Dynasty, starts Sunday at 9 on History.
Oh my gosh! The 1935 Auburn Phaeton convertible. Wow. I tell you what, I'd do $26,000 on the car.
2650. That's
I like you. 26. Oh my God. We did the deal, we pulled it out, and I made a promise to Jan that I've never forgotten.
I just drove it up the driveway.
That's it.
Yeah.
You never drove it any farther than that.
No.
Well, I'll tell you what, if we get this thing running, I'm going to bring it back here and you're going to drive it.
Oh, that'll be wonderful.
I want to keep my word. Doug!
Hey! What's up, man?
Doug Prey is the go-to guy for repairing these cars.
This is the car. It looks amazing.
So what we're doing is we're driving this car back to South Dakota. I made a commitment to the guy I bought it from, and unfortunately he's passed away since then.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the first thing that I thought of when I heard that Jan passed away was Sandy. And the second thing I thought of was I'm not going to be able to keep my word to this man now. Both of those things weighed heavy on my mind. So, we're going to go see his wife, and, I just feel like I need this trip. We need this trip.
Yeah.
We need this trip. There's no better way to honor him and this car than to drive it to South Dakota.
You're 66.
Almost there.
It's going to be pretty cool. I think this is going to be a little emotional. Oh my God.
Hey, honey.
Oh, this is so good. Oh, wonderful.
This is Danielle.
Nice to
This is
meet
Danielle.
you.
She works with us. You see the car? Remember I told you we were going to come back?
Yeah. I didn't really expect the car to come back, but when they came back today, I was so excited. It's beautiful.
Isn't it beautiful?
Yeah.
You think Jan would approve?
Oh, he would love it. Do I get a ride?
Yes.
Yes, you get a ride. Yes, you get a ride.
I want to get over here without giving you a ride.
Here's Jan, and he's going to ride with us.
No!
Yeah.
All right, I love that. All right, here, let me get the door for you guys. There you go. Where you want to go?
Down the road.
All right. Down the road we go.
Here we go, Jan.
I figured you'd want the top down.
I wanted it down. I love it down. I felt like I was 20 years old.
All right, we're doing it. The last time that I was at Doug Prey's was with Danielle.
So, what's he need the rear end in the back of the truck for?
He's rebuilding the Auburn Speedster. I didn't tell you that?
No?
Dude, he's doing it. He's going for it. Our friend Doug is basically resurrecting an extinct line of high-end cars. The Auburn G3 series. And I have a part that he needs. Man, I've been holding on to this thing for like 8 years. And I was talking to him, he's like, I'm looking for rear ends. And I got one. So it's like, boom, I held on to it long enough to find the right guy for it.
What's it worth?
I don't know what it's worth. I mean, to be honest with you, I kind of have an idea.
They're not dime a dozen.
No, I know, and that's the big deal. And the thing is, he needs it, so I'm just going to let him, pull the trigger on it, He's a straight shooter, and I want to help him out because he helped us out a lot. It's not every day that a guy like Doug reaches out for parts, and it's even rarer that I had it. This is it. Remember this place?
Of course I do.
He has that,
old brick building.
Remember, he had that old airplane, too. I see he still got it.
Yeah. Check out the lowrider.
Yeah, he still got that plane.
Ooh, check out the Cadillac. Remember when I had the 60? Boy, that
still got it?
Oh, no, that was a gas guzzler, boy. The speedometer went one way and the gas gauge
what
went the other way.
What did you think it was going to be? Just kidding you.
I was going to say.
Doug's father bought out the Auburn Cord Duesenberg factory when it closed down. This guy is an expert when it comes to Auburn Cord and Duesenberg restoration.
All right, here we go. You got it there, weakling?
Sergeant Frank.
Doug, this is heavier than that. Special delivery. What's going on, buddy?
Oh, how's business?
Fantastic. Well, look at this.
I'm trying to treat it as good as I can. Good to see you.
Hi, Frank. How you doing? Look at this gold.
Gold. This is the rusty gold.
I've been needing one.
I know. That's what I was telling Frankie. I was telling Frankie about the car you're building.
Yeah, a new G3, a third generation car, 1935 car built all with original parts. All original parts. This is 2-speed rear end.
Yeah.
What we're doing is upgrading a 1935 car to modern standards so it would drive like a new car but have all the ambiance of an original.
And then these parts, I don't know if all this stuff goes to it.
I've got pumpkin.
That's
good.
That's part of it.
That's in good shape.
Got this.
Yeah, that's it. Since we are the factory that built the original cars in 1935 and 1936, we still have over 300,000 pounds of original new old stock parts. That radiator can be used for Auburn. That's perfect. And then certain things like a 2-speed rear end are hard to find. They don't make them anymore. I do have all the new parts for them, but not the actual rear end. Well, Mike called me and he had one. I've got a brand new pumpkin for that in fact, new old stock. So basically, I need that. This looks good. We'll clean up, blast it, and we'll probably use it. But on this new G3, I want all new parts in it because this new car that we're building is going to be a $750,000 car.
This is going at $750,000.
Wow, that's what that's going on. Sounds like you really need it. I do.
Well, is it what you thought it'd be?
Yes, it is.
Okay,
like I say, and I'll put a brand new pumpkin in it, and so it'll be perfect.
Okay, so here's the biggie. What's it worth?
What you're worth or what I want to pay for it.
Well, I mean,
I know delivered price.
I know you're going to be straight with me on it. I mean, did you even see the...
It's pretty straight. Yeah, and it's all solid. It's the right numbers. It's the real deal. I mean, it's 1935, 36 Auburn. And it's 2-speed. They made a single speed and they made a 2-speed. With the single speed ring, car only goes 50 miles an hour. The 2-speed ring, it jumps up to 105 miles an hour. This is important. So I have to add on there. So yeah, no, that's perfect.
All right, so what are you taking there? Where are we at?
Well, if I had a customer call me and say, Doug, I need a 2-speed rear end for a 34, 5, or 6 Auburn, I would quote them for a good rear end about $5,000. Now that's not complete. I'm going to put a new pumpkin in it. So this with
is that for a single or a 2-speed though?
No, that's for a 2-speed.
Okay.
Yeah, about $5,000. And so in this condition without the new pumpkin in it, maybe $3,000 because I need it. And don't hold it against me because it's going into a $750,000 car.
If that's what it is, that's what it is. No, I'm happy as heck to hear that.
Once I show you the project I'm putting it in, you'll probably want to raise the price. So let's go ahead and close the deal right now.
All right, do it. It's $3,000 for the rear end. I appreciate you. I've been holding on to this rear end forever, thinking that I was going to use it, but I had no idea that I was holding on to it for Doug.
This is what we're building right now. Original 1935 Auburn, built new, steel body and everything.
So you're doing this in steel?
In steel.
Wow.
But ours will be nicer than the original, and you can drive them at 100 miles an hour. Right. Mike, come over here and look at this. This is a 1935 supercharged Auburn Speedster, the 12th one ever built. This car, when we finish it, is worth about $1.2 million. So this is our guide to building the new G3 Auburn.
What about the Indian feathers?
Mike, we're talking about Auburn. No, you're an Indian.
Okay, all right. Okay.
This is your template.
Okay.
This is your template. This is what we're starting with. Now, yeah, I've got some Indians. I'll show you my Indians. This is your template, right? I mean, this is what you're building the other ones off of this thing. This was an old family friend that has had this car since the 60s. and he passed away. And so we've got the privilege of restoring it for the family.
Okay.
But we get to use it as a guide to build our original 1935 Supercharged speedster.
Okay. So you're going to go full boat on this. This would be like museum quality restoration.
1.2 million.
And then while you're doing the museum quality restoration, you're copying the parts and pieces.
That's right. This had never been done before, just like when Dad did the second generation. It had never been done before.
The person that was able to afford something like this, you know, what did they do for a living? Where was this car driven?
He was the bank president. Well, I've come up with a lot of original photographs, and almost every one that I've come up with in 1935, 36 is a movie star.
Okay.
Like James Cagney had a B-12 Auburn.
Sure.
Clark Gable.
The sleek and stylish Arbans appear custom made for the glitz and glamour of the Hollywood set. Here we see Sonia Henney and Tyrone Power, stars of motion pictures Thin Ice and Second Fiddle, take their matching Auburn cords out for a tour about town.
So you're going to be building these reproduction ones?
No, we don't use the word reproduction.
So you're going to be building these third generation cars. They're going to be $750,000. I mean, what's going to be the market on that?
Well,
is there people waiting in line?
We've already got a waiting list. People are asking me how many can we build. Right now, we think about 6
a year.
No, 6 total. To come up with the parts to do this the way it needs to be.
So you got 6 people already in line.
Not all 6.
Well, let me ask
you can buy the 6th one if you want.
There you go, Frank.
I'd rather do the $90,000. Now I understand why the price is so high. He's taken 6, and that's it. This is taking limited edition to the next level.
Your dad would be really proud.
You know, I think so. I think
oh my gosh, are you kidding me? I mean, look at what he did.
He was the start of the second generation auto book race, and then now we're doing the third generation. My dad thought the place would just be shut down and it would all disappear. But my family got together after my dad died and said, hey, why don't we put you in as only the third president of the Automobile Gutenberg Company and see what you can do with the company. And I had such a love for it, and I grew up with it. That's pretty cool. So, yeah, it is. It's really fun. I think he would be proud.
Can I ask about the fenders yet? What's going on with the fenders?
I got something else you really want to see. This is just a pile of parts. I've got something in the other room I want to show you.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Am I going to like it?
Yeah, you're going to like this.
I haven't seen a pile this big in years. This is the inventory of the service center of a bicycle shop. There's aisles of it, aisles of bearings, aisles of seat pans, aisles of crank arms. There's just so much of it. Wow, man. Unbelievable.
Boldly seeking out new mysteries, we are entering a new era of discovery, probing into theories.
Element 115 produces its own gravitational energy.
We are not alone. With great power comes great responsibility. Giorgio is out there. Who knows what else we'll discover in the next 5 to 10 years? Ancient Aliens starts Tuesday at 10 on History.
This is a planet in the making. A 4.5 billion-year-old creation that has become home. How the Earth was made starts Sunday at 8 on History 2.
Frank, Mike, you got to see this. I've had this over 40 years, so don't get too excited. This is
there we go.
This is my baby right here.
That is a baby
I like
right
it.
there. Look at that. Once you see a skirted Indian, nothing else compares. It was really the first bike that grabbed my attention. Frank, look how low the seat is.
Let's see.
See where you're at with that.
And you know what I like about this? I don't have to take anybody for rides. It's all me.
Got the solo seat.
It's all me.
So did you put those bars on there?
No, everything on there was on it when I got it. Now I put a new coil on it, a new battery in it.
Looks like you put this on it.
The Indian head was missing. I just laid it on there.
So who primed the tanks then?
It's the way it's been.
Does it run?
Yes. It runs, but gets hot, it's like it's got a soft valve spring or something. Because it will start missing after.
So you think it needs top end down on it or something?
It'll run beautifully, and then it will quit working. I think as it gets warm,
Exactly.
something happens.
So what did you find this at 40 years ago?
It's just, I couldn't even tell you. I've had a lot of restored bikes, but one that has just stayed that way its entire life and still runs and goes is what I call a survivor bike.
I always look at just doing mechanical restorations on stuff like this.
Yeah.
Because to do the whole bike, you just got so much money in it, and then you're just like everybody else. You're trying to sell a restored Indian cheap.
Right, that's right. And a 1948 motorcycle that's never been done, but you can still cruise down the street on it. There's just something about it. It's the kind of thing that collectors are really looking for right now. So you can far between.
So this looks like it's got some original paint on it here. These tanks are definitely primer. Or I wonder if somebody did like a wet sand to them. You know what I mean? It took the shine out of it.
You know, I couldn't tell you. I looked inside the tanks to see how nice they were on the inside, and they're fresh and original on the inside.
No didn't treat them or anything. Huh?
No.
It's got good numbers. It's got some original paint. But the biggest thing is it's got the look. It's got just enough stank on it to make you want it. You know, this front cylinder has been broken at the base and welded. Did you see that?
No, did not know
look
that.
at that.
Did not
Right
know that.
here. All the way across here, into here, into here.
I'll be done.
You know, if it gets hot and that weld, there's just a small sort of pinhole. That might be your problem. That could be sucking some air. You know?
See, that's what I'm saying. If you've got an issue, maybe you think it's a valve. I mean, heck, you might as well just do a top end.
Well, you already got it.
Get a top end on it. You just pull it and get a new cylinder.
You already got it. You already got it apart.
What needs to happen is the whole top end of the engine needs to come off. Pistons, rings, hone job, the works, put it back together, then I think we've got something. So what's the plan with this?
Well, it's never really been for sale, but of course we're doing the new Auburn G3 project. I could use the money, so I probably
have fun with your other deal.
Right. I would probably
what do you value it?
You know, I don't know what its value is, Mike. I've never even thought about it. You're an Indian expert. What do you think it's worth?
Expert?
Enthusiast.
Yeah, I mean, I've been collecting Indians for a long time, and a lot of times you'll see these bikes and they're going to be restored, and restored bikes are $25,000 to $30,000. Guys will ask a little bit more for it, but they usually come down just because there's so many of them that are out there. This was the heyday, man. They were kicking it out. So with that said, this bike in this condition, if it was running well, I think it's realistically $15,000.
Yeah, I know it's got a few issues, but I think it's a pretty great bike, and it's pretty much a survivor bike.
Well, where would you be at then now?
I'd let it go. I like the 15 that you tossed out.
15 was the number rolling down the road as far as I'm concerned. This is reproduction. This is reproduction. These bars are off of a panhead, but what's here is cool. You know, it's got the look from here back. I'd do $13,000 on the bike. You know, right now we're at $3,000 on the parts. You know, I'd do the parts, and I'd do 10. You know, that's where I'd be.
Mike, I tell you what, I'd split it with you, and I'll throw in a new condenser and a new coil.
If we could put this deal together, it'd be a great day. Because if I can make a couple grand on the bike, I've already done okay on the rear end. It's cool. I'm at 13. You know, I mean, it just seems like such a round, perfect number for us because, you know, we're already talking 3 with each other. It's just a 10. You know?
Well, I didn't really know what it was worth, and 13 sounds pretty good to me, so
Are we doing it?
I'll do it.
All right, we're doing it.
I'll do it.
So that'll buy you 2 pieces.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right.
Oh my gosh.
Woo! There's nothing like an Indian.
Sometimes there's moments that we outgrow the things we love because we're looking at the big picture.
Come on, boys.
I got it. This is a huge project that Doug's going to take on. And he's been collecting parts and pieces, and he's getting closer to his dream.
Another transaction, Doug.
You did it.
Another transaction.
An expensive dream, but a very rewarding one. I'm excited about your new project.
Oh, yeah, this is fun stuff.
Hey, we're excited we were able to do that.
All right.
Yeah, appreciate it.
All right. Give us a call if you're looking for anything else.
Okay, well, I'm always looking, so
All
if
right.
you find anything, we'll call you. Keep digging. Car guys are car guys. We're all connected. I've been buying and selling cars and parts and picking and chasing my entire life. Frank and Mike are just like me.
All right, see you guys.
You know, we talked about cars with superchargers. It doesn't get any better than that.
Right on, buddy.
See
Thank
ya.
you.
Have a good trip.
All right, Frankie, here's the deal.
What?
Danielle said that this guy's dad was 12 years old in 1929, and he was selling bicycles back then. Okay, so dig that. This shop has been closed since the early 80s. I mean, who knows what he could have? He could have Bluebirds, he could have Aerocycles, he could have Autocycles, he could have Roadmaster Supremes.
What am I going to buy?
Bearings and a tube repair kit, right?
Hey, don't get bummed out. Danielle said that the guy has some Honda stuff.
To be completely honest,
Okay.
I think that Danielle is a little bit more concerned with picking picks that you like and not so much what I like.
No.
Mike, you're going to love it. Mike, you're going to love it. Mike, this is awesome. Mike.
Are you ready, Mikey?
I'm ready. Hit me.
He has old bikes. They have, like, bike stuff. We have a really old wood-rimmed bike. He's got bicycles. They have bicycles and bikes.
Oh, okay. What else has he got besides that?
Bicycles. He's got bicycles. The largest collection of bicycles in the country.
That pertains to me, how? When I hear 99% of my so here's what I'm hoping that you'll do. If you find something that you think's up my alley, point it out to me.
If I find something that's not pertaining to bicycles or American motorcycles or advertising or literature or photographs or anything pertaining to those subjects, then I will definitely turn you on to it. So let's turn that frown upside down. Those. Smell that?
Yeah, it smells like squint.
That's American-made white wall tires. Look at the size of this building. Look at the sign in the window.
I see it's Honda.
Honda. Did you see that? Get the flyer.
I got the flyer.
All right, Frank's looking. Right there.
Faded out, but I know I like that. That's a good sign. That's a good sign. All right. 99% bicycles.
Look at this. Penton. Motorcycle.
Yeah, Penton, Mako, Hadaka. Oh, man. Oh,
Blue. Wow, man. This is incredible. Hey.
There he is.
You guy?
Yes.
Hey, I'm Mike.
Hello,
Nice to meet you. This is Frank.
Guy, how you doing? Frank Fritz. Pleasure. To meet you.
I don't know if Danielle told you on the phone, but I used to own a bicycle shop
Couple
for a
of
number of years. Actually, yeah, I had a couple of them.
Couple of them.
So this is a big deal for me. I mean, seriously. I mean, when she said this hadn't been open since the 80s, I was like, what the heck?
Guy, here's a list. Daniel probably went over this with you. Just kind of some of the stuff I know on top of the list, bicycles. But there's motorcycles, advertising.
He said you had a lot of Honda stuff.
My dad was a Honda dealer since '62.
Oh, no kidding.
California in '67.
Well, we heard that your dad sold his first bicycle when he was 12 years old back in 1929.
That's right. He threw a paper out and walked it, and he wanted to get a bicycle, but he didn't have the money to buy a bicycle. So he bought pieces of bicycles on his walking route.
Okay.
He built his bicycle.
Guy's father, Charles, had a completely different respect for bicycles than most kids his age. He needed a bicycle to work.
And then he had spare bicycle parts. My grandfather was in the harness business with horse and buggy.
Okay.
So in the showcase, he put those used bicycle parts that he didn't need anymore for 10 cents or whatever.
Yeah. All of a sudden, he wasn't just in the newspaper business. He was in the used bicycle parts business. And in 1929, that was a good business to be in.
This was during the Depression, so the used bicycle parts made more money than the harness shop did. My dad started selling bicycles in 1929 and started selling motorcycles in 1948 and stayed with bicycles and motorcycles all the way through the 80s until they retired.
So when he got into something, he got into it.
He did. He was a bachelor until he was 36 years old and then got married to my mom, and, you know, the rest is history. There's 8 kids.
Wow.
We all ride motorcycles and bicycles. And we're pretty much born into 2 wheels.
Wow.
This building was 67 to 1980. So Everything that was non-current stayed in here. This became my dad's catch-all. To see and to really grasp about how much stuff is here, it's overwhelming.
So this was one of the like little tchotchke things they would hand you out?
You'd buy so many.
You're a big wheel on a Cooper cycle.
Instead of keychains, they give those out. Yes.
You got your Muscleman. So what do you value that at?
I like it. I think it's just a neat little thing. Unless somebody offered me a crazy amount of money.
What's crazy money?
Well, I don't know, $300 or $400.
I don't think that's crazy. I think that's retail on it. Muscleman has been around since the early 1900s, and they were standard equipment on a lot of different bicycles. This is an amazing cabinet. It's basically like a period piece. It's a time capsule. And you've got parts are in there. When you open up the drawers, the bearings are in there, the races are in there, there's some axles in there. But the cool thing about it is the advertising. $250.
I'll 3. I know it's worth at least 3. I know it. I'm kind of, yeah. You know what? You saw those parts in there.
All right, I'll do 3 if you throw these in.
I can do that.
All right, let's do it. Doing it. All right, bam. If you collect bicycles, to have the cabinet is a really cool thing.
Seeing pedals. I'm seeing pedals.
You know, I mean, it's like you can just go through every single box, every inch of this place.
And there's still boxes that haven't been opened, so.
This is the inventory of the service center of a bicycle shop. This is the stuff they made the most money on. Cups and chain rings and headsets and there's aisles of it. Aisles of bearings, aisles of seat pans, aisles of crank arms. There's just so much of it.
Hey, Guy! So I'm looking at some of these lights and stuff. You know, back in the day, some of these were realizing some, pretty good money, The internet hurt the dealers that had these because, everyone things that were rare, not so rare. That's right.
Finally, something I know a little bit about. Carbide lamps are used on bicycles, motorcycles, and cars back during the turn of the century.
Would you like to get out of the extra collection? Well, yes, I would. The problem is I know how much he spent for that thing.
I'm surrounded with nothing but bicycle parts. This might be my only chance to buy something today.
I'm thinking there's probably $800 or $1,000 worth of lights back in there.
I'd do $800.
Holy crap. I knew I was saying it too low.
No, that's where I was at. But I'd do $800 cash. One less thing you got to worry about.
Let me think on that.
Let's do $850 in that thing.
I know you want to make a deal right now. Let me think on that.
All right. Okay. I'm trying every angle to make this deal happen. The guy's not happy.
What can you tell me about the Honda sign?
I believe it's from the 60s. It's plastic. Is that something you would sell?
Let's hold off on that right now.
Even the Honda stuff that Mike pointed out to me,
Guy has some Honda stuff.
Still turning out to be a bust.
This is the carcass of an American Star bicycle. Very rare, and to see one in this condition is incredible to me. This is it. This is great. He's not into bicycles as much as I am. He's gonna be by the end of the day, though.
Yeah.
How did the sales go?
Excellent. Fantastic.
Unbelievable. Donald Trump was taught that Trumps are destined to rule.
He was tremendously driven by his father. It was war, and they were determined to win it.
The only money he had is what he borrowed from his father.
You don't know what he's going to do next, and you can't stop watching.
Over the years, I've surprised a lot of people. The biggest surprise is yet to come.
Part of When Presidents Go Bad, the Trump dynasty, starts Sunday at 9 on History. Since 1931, 5 families have run New York's Italian-American mafia, the most prolific organized crime unit in the world. Now, undercover detective Colin McLaren examines 6 notorious mobsters.
He became sort of a folk hero.
Sammy destroyed organized crime.
Even though he wasn't well built, he was a ferocious fighter.
He was feared. Yeah, he was the killer.
He had a real weird double life.
It was all about power and money.
Mafia Killers starts Monday the 19th of August, brand new to History.
This looks a little different than the rest of the place.
Yeah. This is my tribute to what I did for my parents. They got married in 1952, and they took Indian vertical twins on their honeymoon. We're here in Oklahoma at Guy's old bicycle shop, and he's walking us through his family's motorcycle history. They went through Arkansas, and when they got back from their honeymoon, she wrote a letter to her sister. It's over here on the wall. When you read this story, it is what we live for. She talks about the exhilaration, the excitement of twisting the throttle and having the power underneath you. My wife and I followed the journey that they did. We did over 1,000 miles in 6 days.
Wow. Mom and Dad and your grandparents would be
No,
proud.
grandparents would be proud. I hope they're looking down and smiling, you know? So.
Oh, and this is the original sign.
That's the sign. And my sister still runs the bicycle shop today.
Oh, it's still in business. Today, Cooper's Cycle Center in Stillwater, Oklahoma is still in business. The building that we're looking through is just an accumulation of their history. I saw a seat over here. How about that?
That's pretty rusty pan, isn't it?
But how about this?
Tell me about what year that is.
So this is 1880s, and then someone had mounted that to it, obviously, which is not correct. So, you're just buying the hardware. It needs the metal piece made that hooks here. And then I think this is called the cantle, where it would hook the leather to this.
Yes.
So it's not all here.
Right.
When you're into a restoration on a bike, the smallest part can mean so much. A lot of these rusty seat carcasses are over 100 years old. So if you're looking for a part or a pattern for something, this is the stuff you want. $55.
All right.
Okay. See?
I'm letting you have one. Okay. I'm letting you have one.
Okay.
Thank you.
Let me get one. Wow. Toolbox tanks. Again, the invention of this. Flip the tabs. There's your toolbox. Right on the bike itself. Hanging tank, toolbox tank, whatever you want to call it. There's what the tank looks like. Yeah, that brown. I mean, this was Schwinn's mail order company, Ranger.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they sold a lot of these through catalogs.
For over 150 years, mail-order catalogs provided home delivery to rural areas around the globe. Their legacy continues today in the world of online shopping, with millions of shipments helping to save the post office.
This is a cool one because this is Ivor Johnson. And you can barely read it right there. Oh, yeah, look at that. And that's the money shot right there. Even though you can just barely see it.
That's what it is.
There's enough of it there.
Yeah.
Get you. This is an original paint Ivor Johnson tank for a bicycle. Has the original decal on it. Yes, it's faded, but you can still read it. It's got the look. Ivor Johnson made bicycles, they made motorcycles, they made guns. Their motorcycles are some of the most sought-after motorcycles in the world. I mean, if you could find one, especially the twin. That's a neat tank. Look at it. It almost looks like a Zeppelin.
Yeah.
And this is the kind of stuff that captured a kid's imagination back then. What the bike would look like going down the road, how they imagined themselves on it.
Yeah, I think some of it's like total art.
Their bicycles were elegant, they were well made, and they were built to stand the test of time. What would you have to have for this tank?
300.
Yeah, see, I was thinking 200. 250. And that's like calling it, I mean, that's what it is.
Yeah. I'll do that.
Want to do that? Let's do that. A lot of times you will find a bicycle, but the accessories are gone. This is the money shot. The tank. It's so cool. What about this project? You've got part of a Star bicycle here. This is the carcass. The rusty remains of an American Star bicycle. It was built in the 1880s in Smithville, New Jersey. And I see you guys have
I've got the hubs, and the ratchet.
Yeah. So this obviously would be considered a safety high wheel because it's reversed. You sit on top of the big wheel, you steer the little wheel. It's reversed from a conventional high wheel. This is the leaf spring where the seat was clamped on, and it was a treadle system where you would pedal the bike. There wasn't revolutions. There were 2 leather straps, and you went up and down.
Mm-hmm.
See, you would have pedaled it like this.
Yeah, sure.
And they're off. The high wheel racers pedal away as they fly around the track, balancing perilously on their towering bikes. Only time will tell if they all make it to the finish, or if they'll take the 6-foot plunge to the hard track below.
One of the problems with this is that it's so pitted.
Yeah.
But as a wall hanger, this is it. I mean, this thing is roached. It's tough. It's almost dust. It's not a bicycle anymore. Now it's a piece of art. That's my idea for this, if I can buy it. man, like a fork. See, that's what I'm talking about, man. That pitting is just so deep.
Definitely good wall hanging.
What are you thinking on it?
Mike, I'm at a loss here.
Why, you know the value of it. You know the value of a rideable bike.
It's not worth 5,000. It's not worth 2,000.
I know.
But it probably is, even for wall art. It's probably worth 1,000.
Very rare, very hard to find bicycle, and to see one in this condition is incredible. $800.
900.
850.
850. We'll do 850.
All right, we're doing 850. All right. It's
You
crazy,
gonna hang
right?
that thing up? I love it.
I'm a bicycle collector. I love all this stuff, and I will pay the price if I find the right thing. He's not into bicycles as much as I am. He's going to be by the end of the day, though.
Yeah.
Wow. This is totally sketchy, man.
Did I say enter at your own risk? I needed to say that.
Frank's in Tankland.
I'm in Tankland. Pretty darn clean. That one's got rust inside of it. Original paint, hard to find. Best of all, they don't go on a bicycle.
Boldly seeking out new mysteries, we are entering a new era of discovery, probing into theories.
Element 115 produces its own gravitational energy.
We are not alone. With great power comes great responsibility. Giorgio is out there. Who knows what else we'll discover in the next 5 to 10 years? Ancient Aliens starts Tuesday at 10 on History.
Believe me, if I started murdering people, there'd be none of you left.
If you got out of here, there are a lot of people who think you'd go start killing again.
Again? Charles Manson is literally one of the worst human beings that ever walked this planet.
I am very mad, and I don't know whether I can control myself.
Charles Manson. Tuesday the 20th of August on Crime Investigation.
Bill, you ready?
Up and load.
All right, man. Let's do it.
Meet the salvage pirates.
We go into some of the most dangerous places in the world.
Who risk their lives hunting for loot.
Drug traffickers, they're still in the area.
With a notorious past.
We take bad guys' toys. This is one of the drug planks. And we turn them into cash. What do you mean he's walking from me? He's going to pay us, right? This thing's getting worse and worse by the minute.
Pirate Traders. Wednesdays at 9 on History.
This is a bike that I've raced for the last 5 years.
Oh, you're racing too.
At 50 years old, I went back out and started doing some vintage racing. Had a
Like how many
great time.
guys are out there?
My first year there, there's 850 entries. It was crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
A lot of vintage. How'd you do?
Well, I had a good time. I had my bike set up good. I won every moto.
Did you really?
Yeah, I went 11 moto wins that week.
11 races you won?
We're in Guy's old store here in Oklahoma, and we're learning all about his motorcycle and motocross racing career.
What's your background with racing then?
I was a Honda Sport Rider from 1984 to 1989. Signed a Suzuki factory ride, won a championship my first year on Suzuki.
What year was that, Suzuki?
1990. I'd raced a lot in Europe. I won the FIM World title in 93 and the Germany Supercross title in 97.
Get out of here.
Crazy. This guy, he's the real deal.
I haven't seen a pile this big in years. I mean, seriously, it's been a long time. This is a neat piece. You know, it's a Delta battery can.
Yeah.
Okay, and then here's your Delta light indentation for the
Now
top tube or the down tube.
Yeah,
you know,
it's on the front.
but you know, look at that, like a spaceship, man.
It's a great shape.
You know, $60.
I just think you're off on those prices. I don't know.
Well, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to convince you that I'm not.
This type of stuff, it's been hidden away since my dad collected it in the 80s into the early 90s. So I'm having a little bit of emotional time to let it go. I do have a passion for it. I like it. You might have to kick me a few times to get me to finally let go of it. This whole building is costing me money to just have it sit here.
$60.
I think you're out of line. So eventually, I'll get some of these buildings emptied out. Here's some pedals. After the motorcycle shop closed down in '87, my mom and dad just traveled around in their motorhome going to the swap meets at like Hershey and Memory Lane.
Oh, they went to those?
They went.
We used to go to Memory Lane. We might have saw them there.
Yeah. They drove a motorhome, and my dad would take the pedals and the seats and the handlebars off and then stack them like sardines in the back of the motorhome, packed.
That's a good trip. Guy's father, Charles, was looking for all those parts again. He was looking for all those bikes, which is cool because this is the guy that lived it. He was father time when it came to bicycles. The only way it goes up, Frankie.
That's what I do. I just build another. I never have to watch my head.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Whoa. This is totally sketchy, man.
Did I say enter at your own risk? I needed to say that.
All I'm seeing is bicycle fenders, bunch of rims, cranks, seats, just bicycle stuff. And I look over, he's got a whole shelf of new old stock tanks.
Frank's in Tankland.
I'm in Tankland.
I mean, when I say new old stock, these might have been put on a bike at one time, but the ones he's got are in great condition. Original paint, he's got a Kawasaki H1, and he's got another Kawasaki to an S3 made in 1974.
Pretty darn clean. That one's got rust inside of it. They're missing the petcocks and both missing the caps on here. This would have just a screw in. This would have had a flip on right here. But they are nice original paint. What are you thinking on these? Now's the big question. 300 a piece? I don't know. It's 500 for both of them. It's 250 a piece. I'll do that. I'm doing that because I've been arguing with you downstairs. We haven't been arguing. We just haven't been able to meet. Original paint, hard to find, and best of all, they don't go on a bicycle. Score.
Guy. Pre-war, Schwinn, pogo seat. This one has a great pan on it.
Yep, good shape.
The pan on this one, it's far from great. These went on the pre-war Schwinn deluxe bikes, Autocycle. In 1936, Schwinn introduced the Autocycle Deluxe. It was state of the art for its time. That dual headlights, crossbar handlebar speedo, and this floating saddle, or what I call the pogo seat. Look how much engineering went into making this seat. Look at this. This is one big leaf spring, continuous, and then this shaft travels inside of the seat tube with an adjustable spring on the bottom. So you're riding, you're floating. It's a pogo seat.
And to go on a bicycle.
Yeah, it's so overbuilt.
Yeah.
Schwinn was just killing everybody in so many different ways. You know, with this seat, this was a game changer. This is an engineering masterpiece. It's a work of art. And it's a saddle for a kid's bike. I mean, that's the way Schwinn built stuff. Before World War II, Schwinn, I mean, they were it. Would you sell these for the right number?
For the right number.
And what are the, let me see this. Let me put them both together. They've always been together. What would the right number be?
You know, I'm thinking they're probably worth 500 a piece, but
this one here, you can see, look at the mechanism underneath the seat. See how the pan is connected to the seat?
Yeah.
That whole mechanism is gone. This would be a very hard piece to find. It's extremely hard to find one of these. Guy has two of them. Now, they're not in the greatest of condition, but the two of them together are unbelievable. Unbelievable. I'm going to do $550 a piece.
I'll do it.
Okay?
I'll do it.
All right.
They jump back with even a better price, so I'm actually pretty happy about that.
Oh, Frank!
What? I'm like, Mike's yelling for me?
Found some signs.
Good, let me see what you got.
Now we're talking.
It's not just a bicycle pick.
Here's some Goodrich signs. Here's some advertising.
You got this one right here. Yep, pretty decent shape. This one right here, it's been cut in half. It says good. Yeah, service. So that's kind of like half a sign. And this is a good year. This is a good rich.
Right.
This one here has been outside for quite some time. It's Kendall Oil, Cooper Cycle Center. Watch out, watch out. Oh, boy, that was a close one, Frank. Then you got three of these. Two of them are pretty decent shape. Are these signs something that you would sell? I think they were my grandfather's. And I am sentimental to them, so that brings the price up. $2,000 for basically 4 signs here, maybe $500 a piece. Leaving me a couple, or okay, there you go. You can take these 2 right here. And you need to clear out some stuff. I do, but I love to hear $2,000, but I had something saying, don't let it go because it could be your grandfather's. Let me keep 1 and go 1,800. I actually like the Silverton the best. These signs were made in the 1940s, and everybody had them. The distributors would give these away free at the time. You keep the Silverton, I'll take the half a sign, and the 3 here, $1,500. I'll sell you 1 of the signs for $500. How about 2 for $800? 2 for $900. I'll take 2 for $900. You throw the half one in. I'll do that. You got it. All right. Ooh, tough negotiator. I got a couple good signs, but I don't know what I'm gonna do with a half sign. I'm gonna have to give it to somebody, obviously, for half price.
What do you value like something like that at? Just the common chain ring.
I don't know, probably in the $50 range.
I mean, see, again, to the right guy, maybe that, but like, see, I think half of that.
Yeah.
You know, unless it's something really special, that's the thing, you know.
The crankset is how you transfer power to the rear wheel. Over the years, manufacturers got creative on how they branded their bikes. Pinstriping on the bike, the head badge, and the crankset were all big parts of that.
Okay, that's the biggie.
Yeah.
That's the HD.
You ought to just put that right.
Harley Davidson, HD, HD, HD.
Harley Davidson got in the bicycle business in 1917. It was smart. They wanted to build brand loyalty. The person that was growing up riding their bicycle, chances are, would probably buy their motorcycle. Harley Davidson didn't actually build these bicycles. It was Davis Machine Company in Dayton, Ohio. They made bicycles for Harley from 1917 to 1921. This is the chain ring off of one of those bikes.
And look, it's still got a little bit, you can just barely see a little bit of nickel plating on it. Look at that.
The last time I found one of these was on Danny Bean's property in Iowa years ago.
What about at least this crank?
Well, that I want to keep. That I want to keep for now, too.
I'd like to make you an offer on that crank. That thing is really rare for a Harley Davidson bicycle. I haven't had the opportunity to buy one since.
Can I make you an offer on it? Or do you want to give me a number?
If I said $400, I didn't want to make you feel bad.
I'll give you $500.
You will.
I will.
I remember my dad talking that it was worth $400, so that's kind of the number I was on, but I'll be glad to take $500 for it.
We're getting crazy?
We're getting crazy.
All right, buddy.
You found your little gold nugget.
Found the nugget, nugster. All right, guy. Appreciate you very much. And your pops.
I don't think my dad was a lot different than Mike and Frank. You know, I think my dad did the same picking. It was just 20 to 30 years before this time. Careful these. Those are got the ridge paint still on them.
You want me to put them up front?
Yeah, stick them up front for me, bro. There was a lot of bicycle stuff there. But, you know, I got some great signs. I got some great Kawasaki tanks. So it just goes to show you, you can't judge a book by its cover. God, good luck. You got a lot of stuff.
I don't think you know it yet, but you're in the bicycle business, my friend.
Nice meeting you guys. Good luck. Thank you ever so much. Great building.
I'll send you some pictures of that star once I mock it up.
Awesome.
It'll be really cool. It'll be a good wall hanger. I appreciate you selling me that.
All right. Thank you ever so much.
God bless you guys.
Take care now. See you guys. Take care. See ya. Happy freewheeling.
My ex-wife had put a hit out on me.
A friend of mine kind of needs something taken care of.
Crime and Investigation explores the world of contract killing.
I just wanted to. You're watching a father talk about murdering the mother of his children. He's got to go to prison. People probably don't realize how many serious crimes we do get reported.
This is a real thing. It puts it all in perspective about just how evil people can be.
The brand new series, Murder for Hire, starts Wednesday at 9 on Crime and Investigation.
This is a planet in the making. A 4.5 billion-year-old creation.
dimension that has become home. How the Earth Was Made starts Sunday at 8 on History 2.
The signs of aging can make you look older than you feel, and the fight to keep your face feeling and looking younger can feel like a losing battle. Presenting Dermawan, a radiofrequency home beauty treatment that will help give you a younger feeling, younger looking face. Use Dermawan daily to treat the skin on your neck for a tighter, more even-toned appearance and more rejuvenated feel. I couldn't believe the difference. Without Dermawand, I'd still be hiding behind the scars. Dermawand is easy to use, and your face will look more radiant, feel younger, and look younger. Dermawand's energy bulb delivers trioxygen and gentle microcurrents to the skin's surface at 100,000 cycles per second, so your skin feels tighter, looks smoother, healthier. Your face will feel younger and look younger. Plus, women who use Dermawand felt their skin fold's appearance had been reduced.
As a plastic surgeon, I work a lot with the skin, and it's amazing the difference I actually see in the patients that have had the Dermawand.
I know my skin looks great. The tone is there. I have a youthful glow. That's the one product I never want to be without. I love my Dermawand.
Improve your facial complexion and join millions of women who already purchased Dermawand. Your skin will feel more refreshed and stimulated, improving the global appearance of your skin. Dermawand users felt their complexion look more even. They felt improved skin tone. Their skin felt more alive, with a moister, less dry feel. And users said they'd recommend Dermawand to their friends. Use Dermawand daily to improve your own facial complexion.
It's just a great, fresh feeling. I can't tell you enough about how much I love my Dermawand.
Try Dermawand yourself, risk-free for 30 days. Plus, receive over 40 pounds worth of Duravital skincare, free. If you're not entirely happy, return it for a complete refund. Dermawand really can help your face feel younger and look younger. So call the number on your screen or order online now at dermawand.co.uk.
No Pro lives up to its promise of no hair with no pain.
It doesn't hurt, and it gives you the smooth skin that you're after.
Use pain-free No on your unwanted hair.
I've always been self-conscious of my hairline, so putting my hair back, this will be perfect for me.
With millions of satisfied customers around the world, you'll love No too.
I'm being self-conscious about my upper lip hair, but having the No has made me not have to worry about that.
No Pro is based on a patented pulse thermocon technology, and No Pro delivers an even greater thermal pulse to each hair, all with no pain.
Can't believe the difference, Al. It's almost hair-free.
And get this, 97% of users would recommend No to a friend. 100% safe, No works on your face, around your chin and lip areas, also under your arms, and of course your legs, and lots of other places. And No works on all skin types and hair colors. And men use No too.
Now that I'm trying it, it feels completely painless.
I don't consider myself a vain person by any means, but I've always been very self-conscious about the hair growth on my back. Finding the No changed everything.
97% of users rated No as their all-in-one hair removal solution. And you too can get great-looking results.
Just try No. I did. I saw the adverts. I tried No. It worked for me. It works my time. It's amazing.
Call or go online now to order No Pro and receive No Smooth After Treatment Hydrating Moisturizer. Also receive this LED beauty tip to perform full facial treatments. Call or go online for this sensational 30-day money-back guarantee TV-only offer and receive No Smooth plus the LED beauty tip. Together, these two additional beauty products are worth £68. Call or click today. No hair with no pain.
Knights Templar historian Scott Wolter is heading to Cape Cod, where world-renowned underwater explorer Barry Clifford has a relic that could unlock mysterious connections between the medieval Knights Templar and 17th century pirates.
Well, I received a call from a guy I've never met. His name is Barry Clifford, and he's asked me to come and take a look at some artifacts that he pulled out of the ocean in Madagascar. And it sounds like these artifacts could be connected to the Knights Templar. Well, that's something I know a little bit about. I've spent 15 years
hooked by the question of what happened to the lost treasures of the medieval Knights Templar order.
Scott has secured access to Warren's 150-year-old map, which may show where this chamber lies. This is an amazing document. Now, if you look closely, there's an entrance directly into the dome of the rock, down to the Well of Souls. But what really has me excited is if you look, you can see that that vertical shaft continues below the floor of that chamber, and it looks like that there's the top of another chamber below that, a second level below that. But then it stops. It just ends right there, which to me is very cryptic. Somebody like that who was very detailed, as evidenced by the work he did, if he went down there and found a second chamber, why didn't he map it? Which leads me to believe that he might have known that there was more. I need to find answers to the question that has been pondered for 900 years, back when the Templars were here in the Holy Land, digging under the Temple Mount. What were they doing? What were they looking for? And most importantly, what did they find? And man, I just got to get underneath here to see what Charles Warren saw. While Scott is in Israel investigating the Templars, more than 3,000 miles away, on the island of Madagascar, Barry and his team of world-renowned divers and archaeologists are investigating 300-year-old pirate shipwrecks, where an earlier dive led to the discovery of what they believe are Knights Templar artifacts. Here, a group of notorious pirates set up what became known as Pirate Island.
There's nothing like this in the world. You get 5 pirate ships within 200 or 300 feet from shore. It's a massive, massive project we have here. You know, this is like the Valley of the Kings, pirate ships.
Divers down.
Diver 1 and 2, let me know when you reach bottom.
Roger that.
Holy. Yeah. 100% so. Could be Templar.
For brothers Rick and Marty Ladina, today marks the beginning of a culmination of more than a decade of research, data collection, and painstaking hard work.
Okay, big brother. Here we are, heading back to Oak Island. Where are we in the optimism chart? We need to ask. Yes, I'd like to know. 11. 11. You're still in 11. Yes. Because the difference between belief and proof. Yeah, there sure is. And I believe. Okay.
In the 10 years since brothers Rick and Marty Lagina have been actively trying to solve the Oak Island mystery,
Definitely got wood.
they have experienced both success
You think you're on the ball?
and setbacks.
Didn't work. Back to the drawing board.
But this year is different.
This is the year to come up with something. We have to push the envelope. I'm with you, brother.
Because this is the year when they and their partners have decided to invest more than $2 million in a go-for-broke effort to find out if something of enormous value was buried here centuries ago. After more than a decade of exploration, research, and persistence, and after an investment of millions of dollars.
Oh, there it is. There it is, right there. Here it comes. Big gray truck. The oscillator.
Brothers Rick and Marty Lagina are about to witness the beginning of a lifelong dream. They are ready to begin the first excavation of the money pit in more than half a century.
It's really exciting because we have the equipment and we can find the old vault if it's there. So, high hopes that we're right on. We're going to bring up something
Very significant. We have the material, the equipment, and the manpower to do it. It's the money thing, for gosh sakes. And, we're 140 feet away from getting, finally, real answers from Okai.
We've got the stage set, gears set, the players are set. It's go time. All at the same time.
All at the same time.
Here we go.
1, 2, 3.
Big hole. Here we go. Let's go, Dan. That's it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Good day.
For Rick, Marty, and the team, the hope of a great discovery and possible answers to the Oak Island mystery has never been higher.
All right. Slam and can.
But once they reach their targets deep underground, what will they find? A chest full of untold riches and treasure? A vault filled with priceless religious objects? Or will it be something even more incredible and mysterious than anything they or anyone living could ever have imagined?
How are the stands going?
Excellent. Fantastic. Unbelievable.
Donald Trump was taught that Trumps are destined to rule.
He was tremendously driven by his father. It was war, and they were determined to win it. The only money he had is what he borrowed from his father. You don't know what he's going to do next, and you can't stop watching.
Over the years, I've surprised a lot of people. The biggest surprise is yet to come.
Part of When Presidents Go Bad, the Trump Dynasty, starts Sunday at 9 on History.
Back to the gardens.
Wine gardens, yes. Maybe we can just be a little tougher today.
Sure. Don't take any.
No.
No, we don't take no for an answer.
Oh, no for an answer.
Yeah, duh. Bruh.
Got it.
When storage units are abandoned,
Yo, look at this money.
the treasures within
I just want to know what the heck this thing is.
are put up for auction.
Yeah.
Shazam!
Fancy. Oh, that's hot. What?
Spectacular.
All right, babe. We're going to Hawaiian Gardens today.
Hawaiian Garden.
Mm-hmm. California has some weird name. Rancho Cucamonga.
Do you even know what any of these names mean? Why do they call it City of Angels?
Well, Los Angeles, that's what that means in Spanish.
Are you
Angel.
just saying that, or do you?
No, I know that. I speak Spanish. Let's see what happens in Hawaiian Gardens. I feel like it's going to go down today. People are all in our stuff. Like, we be coming up with our strategy, and they all up in it. You know why? Why?
Because we're loud AF.
We are loud AF. Well, maybe we'll let our statement necklaces do all the talking. What if we do, like, 1 tap? I like it.
Okay.
2 tap?
I need it.
3 tap? Trash. Have you been here before?
Never.
Me either.
Ivy Jr., he's running things at the store these days. He says we need stuff, so I'll get him stuff. That does, Vegas girl. Look like Nevada plates.
Oh my god. Is that her husband?
Who, Ivy?
No, the guy with the cowboy hat.
Oh, really?
Was that she brought her boo thing?
It's just somebody has the cowboy hat, and I'm like, that must be him.
Is that her boo thing or is that her husband?
I don't know. Oh, okay.
Hi guys. Hey, what's up? Nothing much. This is my husband, Cody. Oh my gosh.
I need his belt buckle.
I know, I was looking at that. His buckle? Yes. Is that an award? Yeah, he won that rodeo. It's a huge rodeo. Oh, wow. What? Is it awkward when everyone's looking at you?
Yeah.
We're like this. I know, right? We were all in this junk.
My eyes are up here.
Randy, an umbrella, really? You have a hat on. You look just like me if you're dressed in your turquoise. We're twins.
David, is that you?
I guess it sounds like an auction now.
David, what are you wearing?
He's wearing flannel.
Flannel.
Did your mother tell you to put on a coat today?
Woo. Beautiful summer weather. Sprinkles. Rain doesn't ruin my day. These dumb buyers do.
I see you're rocking the plaid today. Oh my god, you're wearing a pop of color? I know.
Where do you guys shop at?
Oh, this is our own store. Our own. They're just anonymous.
Underwear's match?
I don't wear underwear, Dan. No, these are match underwear.
So you're both going buck naked.
You gotta let this meat breathe. Why? Too far? Too far?
A little much there, woman.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Emily. I'm going to be your auctioneer today. My husband, Cody and the Cowboy Happy will be helping me out as well. Once we go in, I'm going to open up the door, but you can't go inside and you can't touch anything in the unit. This is a cash-only option, so if you have cash, you can buy today. If you guys are ready, so am I. Let's go! Woo!
Is Cody the spotter?
Cody, are you working or socializing?
I'm talking. Man, keep cracking the whip.
All right, 10 by 10. Let's see what we got. Woo-hoo!
Where's Mary at? Looks like a refurb unit to me. Shabby chic, shabby purple, shabby white, shabby pass.
Ooh. We need this.
I like that box right there. That's a jewelry box or something. Ooh, I smell cat. I gotta stay away.
There's a lot of firewood and then a couple of things.
Ooh.
Oh, I need an expert opinion. Cody, what do you think I can get for that horseshoe spur?
I want to look inside the spur and see who it's made by. If somebody made that with an expensive Mexican spur, then it could be worth a few thousand.
Okay, first unit of the day, guys. And $25. 25, the honey chicken, 25.
You think so?
Not 10? 15.
Hey.
$10, now $15, $10, $10, $10,
Yeah.
$20, $5, $5, $25, $40, $12 pounds, now 30 on the pipe, 30, then now 5, then 5, now 40, then now 40, then now 40, 40, 100, then now quarter, then 125, 125,
Compensating.
quarter. Yes.
She said go the heck.
Hand was up. Hand was up. I sold it. $100. Jared and Brandy. Hey, they even have a bid catcher.
Yeah. Hey, make dirty jokes, you get knocked in the dirt.
Okay, here we go.
Grab the spur, tell me what you know about it. So I need to know right off the gate if I'm already even or not. And is it? Is it one of
What I think
It's a lever, right?
It's a what?
Lever, right?
A lever, right?
Yeah.
Is that good?
Lever right where you found her.
Man. Cheesy, babe. Wow.
Solid. That was solid.
The horseshoes are worth $5.
We're gonna leave her right there. Thanks for your help. Let's get into this.
Love pound. Here we go. Moving on.
First, I'll say all of this furniture is going to be trash. It's literally going to be firewood. There's no value here. It's just whatever's right here in this section. That's going to be our money.
Damn it, Jared.
Not damn it, Jared.
Yes.
Wow, look at that. Gold mine. This is stamped.
Is it really?
It's probably $100 right there. Paid for the unit.
Oh, perfect.
Everything else is profit. You haven't even got to the second shelf.
I haven't. Look at these.
These are real diamonds. This is all money right here. This whole jewelry box right here, $500 for the jewelry.
At least.
Whoa.
Careful there,
More
fella.
jewelry, maybe $50. What's that? Costume jewelry?
Look at it.
Costume jewelry is worth money too. That's a lot of costume jewelry. Let's call it $500. So these are silver. Let's call it 30 something at $30 a piece, $900.
There's some stuff back here too. Oh, it opens on both sides.
Yes, crack it. Is that an air compressor from the 1500s? Let me see.
Universal Company.
They made a lot of good stuff. They're more of a, like, Universal. They didn't really specialize. But what else is back there?
I don't know. There's more.
Look at this thing, Brandy. What is that?
I don't know.
I don't either. Is that a picnic table? Here's the hands. Is this the top?
There you go. Open it.
It's like the first massage table. Ready? Grab the legs.
I don't think that's what that
Grab
is.
the legs, Brandy. Why don't you hop up there? Let me give you a back rub. No?
I think that's like an old medical table.
I don't know what any of this is. Do you think it all goes together? Oh my God, look at that lipstick.
It's cosmetics.
I don't
think
know.
this is for dead people?
I don't know, Brandy, but I definitely think we should take all of this stuff and get it checked out. Oh, I don't know about putting it in the car, though. I'm not sure if I want to ride with this.
It's not haunted.
How
I'm
do
not
you know?
holding it in my
How do
lap.
you know what things haunt?
Do we have to do a dance so that you can see us? You have to fit faster.
We were.
You gotta look at us.
I know.
Pull the hat back.
That's why when I point at you, you need to get your hands.
Just a little bit faster next time.
Okay, all right. Sounds like a war to me.
Second unit, 10 by 16. Oh.
It's a big ass freezer.
Do you think there's a dead body in there?
I hope so.
See that car stereo right there?
Nope.
Right on top of the
I
couch.
don't see it.
On top of the
I
couch.
don't see it.
There's a lot of furniture. Dining room set. Some good stuff. It's a good unit. There are a few boxes in here, but most of this is big, bulky furniture. This is like a lot of work here. I don't know. I'll think about it.
Wow, that is a giant-sized freezer. They added on wheels. It's so big. Few tools. This is my kind of room. I'm in.
We didn't mess up. She did us wrong.
Oh yeah, we did mess
And I
up.
will never forgive her.
Never forgive her.
Alrighty guys, here we go. Second unit.
I feel like we should turn our backs in then right now. Ready?
Pam, what do you say? 100.
Yeah.
And this is what we call a silent protest. She's not gonna pay 50 cents anyway, so why do it, right?
Ooh. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. 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 I don't know backwards thing.
Everything and anything.
I'm defeated. I mean, I'm not gonna let them know I'm defeated.
Drove 500 miles to bid. See? Dumbass buyers.
Don't you want to get to know us more?
No, not really.
Last unit of the day, guys. Here you go.
But I think those are one of a kind. Didn't your Aunt Shelley used to make those?
Because they're seashells, I get it.
What's in that? It's kind of a neat box. Mattress? I don't do mattresses.
Little antique chair, the lamps. I don't think this one's for me.
These chairs are like destroyed. Actually, this material on the chairs is really good. Yeah, it's OC for sure.
This time, we're going to make sure we're seen. Alrighty, here we go, guys. Here's 25 dollars. 25
Yep.
now. 25 now.
We're big. Yep.
See this one?
What is it doing? Yep. Heating up.
Oh, we don't want none of that.
65, 70 now. $5, 75, 80, 85, 85, 90. Going out, 90, 90, going out, 90, 100, going out, 110.
Burn your money with that furniture.
110.
Yep.
Now 20, 120,
Damn.
110, 20 now, 120, now 130, now 130, 130, now 40, 140, 140, now 150 dollars, 150, now 140, now 150, now you want it, 140, now 150. Alrighty guys, that's gonna do it for the day. Thank you so much for coming out. Make sure you pay me before you leave, or my husband will hunt you down. See you next time, guys.
It's a good thing the swimming season is long, because it definitely wasn't nothing good here today. I'm never wearing this flannel again.
Hey, Cody.
What?
This is how cowboys walk.
No.
I think I'm more cowboy than you.
Well.
You think you got a wedgie?
Boldly seeking out new mysteries, we are entering a new era of discovery, probing into theories.
Element 115 produces its own gravitational energy.
We are not alone. With great power comes great responsibility. Giorgio is out there. Who knows what else we'll discover in the next 5 to 10 years? Ancient Aliens starts Tuesday at 10 on History.
Believe me, if I started murdering people, there'd be none of you left.
If you got out of here, there are a lot of people who think you'd go start killing Jim.
Again. Charles Manson is literally one of the worst human beings that ever walked this planet.
I am very mad, and I don't know whether I can control myself.
Very scary people. Charles Manson. Tuesday the 20th of August on Crime Investigation.
Since 1931, 5 families have run New York's Italian-American mafia, the most prolific organized crime unit in the world. Now, undercover detective Colin McLaren examines 6 notorious mobsters.
He became sort of a folk hero.
Sammy destroyed organized crime. Even though he wasn't well built, he was a ferocious fighter.
He was here, yet he was the killer.
He had a very weird double life.
It was all about power and money.
Mafia Killers starts Monday the 19th of August, brand new to history.
I'm very excited. So even after our little mishap at the beginning of the day, we came away with a pretty good unit.
Oh my gosh. Ooh. Tell me that's not an Oski. Don't look at it.
Okay. All right. Okay.
You did. Little roach. Little roach ain't never hurt nobody.
It was a roach?
It was a roach.
You flicked a roach?
Yes.
I can't.
I'm a soldier. That's nothing.
Okay, let's take these out because we saw these. Oh, there's so many bugs. Let me just move this.
Oh, yeah, there's roaches everywhere.
Oh, don't do that.
No, it's dead. I got them off. They're on the floor now.
This is a disaster.
Who's this lady? This is the chair that I was very excited about.
Ooh, look at the cushion is so good.
The Victorian little tapestry.
All the meetings there.
150.
Our money back. Oh my God, I used to always want one of
Me
these.
too. It's in good shape. Can we try it again?
I think this is a good solid piece.
We could sell this for $400.
What's this look like, a 55-inch? Damn, there's a roach stuck in the back.
Shut up, there is not.
Look.
Oh no.
I know, right?
Don't tell anybody.
$75. Oh, is this like a dream car?
I think so. That's why I was so excited. I've been looking for one of these.
Oh my God, there's a twinsy.
Shut up, there's two.
There's two.
I personally would spend $400 on something like this.
I know you would. Look, how perfect is this?
It's gorgeous.
Yeah, there's a bunch of roach eggs. Look at all those roach droppings and stuff right there. That's roach dookie. Still feel like as is, we could probably just get an easy $40 for it.
I feel like at the thrift store it's like $50 hanging with all the chairs and $100.
It's for you. Here, you want to
Why
open
are you
it?
blowing?
So you can be comfortable opening it. Oh my gosh. You talking about the belt buckle?
Oh wow.
What? It's the crap out of here.
This is gorgeous.
It's like Flintstone chic. I like it.
So what do you have? Chairs, roaches, and turquoise.
We only know how to wear turquoise, not price it, but we do know someone who does both. We need to let Emily have it before we leave.
Right? Okay, let's see if we can find her and wash our hands.
Hey, ladies.
Hey,
guys.
hi.
Oh, my God. We were looking for you.
Rolling out. We were?
Yeah, we have something to show you.
Oh, okay.
Bam.
Bam!
That's her
Oh
favorite.
my god.
Not yet. Not yet. This is an orphan.
Are you kidding me?
Is there a name for
The
these?
squash blossom.
Squash blossom.
That's her favorite thing.
I know.
So thank you for totally screwing up the bet so we can find this amazing
That
piece.
is so pretty.
And look. Bam.
All that talk about your buckle.
I know, now you just need a belt.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so what do you think that's worth?
Stone's been kind of crushed, but it seems like it's pretty secure in the setting, so it's not like it's gonna fall out.
And this buckle?
It's a legitimate stone. Like that's more green, and that's like a brighter blue.
That's really cool.
So
Okay, on the high end, what are your thoughts on
everything? Probably like $1,000.
I feel like we won the auction rodeo with our buckle.
We did.
right.
We did.
How about that? How about that?
Will this work? Ivy Jr. won the stuff, so I got him stuff. Now he can help me load it up. With all these tools in here. Ooh.
Like a mini pipe bender.
This is the good stuff, too. Probably $50. Oh, wait, this is set. It looks like you got the whole thing. I would say $150.
Uh-huh. Hey, we got the weights.
Got the weights. The weight set went from $150 to $250.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, this refrigerant. This stuff is probably $200 a bottle. What's up for $100 each? $200 right there. $10 on the microwave. Working jack. $100.
Oh,
Rolling
okay.
toolbox. I'm already at $400 without even opening. Bam! Craftsman nail gun. Got about $30 worth of tools in that drawer. $100 worth of tools in this drawer. And last but not least, bam, $20 worth of tools in this drawer. $100 bed right here.
Is that like a swing set? Oh, no, that's way too big.
Maybe it's one of those things you hang and slide down.
Ooh, maybe. I don't think so, because it has all these clamps to hook it together. I wonder what it is.
Rope.
I get that it's rope.
This is some expensive stuff right here. I think we gotta take this somewhere.
Yeah.
Open sesame.
Toast with bags.
Ooh. This is badass. Oh, I know what it is now.
What?
Boxing. Bell boxing.
Oh, I get it. Oh.
Yeah, we got us a ring. Woo. I think with this, I'll be the heavyweight auction champ.
Woo. Oh, those are awesome.
Oh, wow.
26s.
They're not new, but they're in beautiful, beautiful condition. I'm gonna put it on the low side. Say all four of these, $2,000. Green canvas.
For the boxing thing.
Yes, sir. The last of the stuff. What did you say was in here earlier?
I think it's dead stuff.
Let me just open it this way. When I open, I want you to go. Ready?
Well, it's all tools.
Oh, hell yeah!
That's awesome.
Woo! Wow, refrigerant, tools, and tools. Freezer and contents, $500. I've 10 tupled my money. Tell me that ain't good.
You got an A in lockers, but we do need to work on vocab.
We think the stuff we found has something to do with dead bodies? So we're at Cypress College of Mortuary Science to speak with David McCammond.
Come on in.
I don't know if I want to.
There are no remains currently in here.
Remains as in like a body?
Yes, remains, exactly.
Awesome.
You put your box right here.
Is that where you put
Yeah, that's right.
the people?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Do you know what you have here? This is an interesting piece.
Jared thought it was a massage table.
It was probably produced around 1920 and 1930. People that would pass away at home, the family would call the undertaker, and he would go to the home and prepare the body. So it would have been more correct to refer to it as a dressing table, although you could do embalming on it. Ooh.
It's like an airbrush, isn't it?
Okay, so it has cosmetics in it. Even back then, they had the concept of applying cosmetics through an air system. Yeah, let's see what's in here. Oh, sweet. Okay.
That was not my reaction.
That's the reaction I was hoping for, though.
This is an embalming machine.
I feel like I know enough already.
What the embalmer learns to do is to go into the circulatory system. They're going to inject preservative fluid, and that's going to be distributed throughout the capillaries. But the blood that is in there needs to be removed. That's why we have 2 jars.
What do you do with the evacuated fluids that go into this jar? Is it like bacon grease? Do you keep it under the...
And before my stomach evacuates its fluids, I want to know how much this stuff's worth.
Say, so we're pumping our fluid in. How much money are we going to be getting out for this?
The table, I believe you would do well in getting $200 for it. You should be able to do that. Your makeup kit with the airbrush, $100. The biggest item of interest would be your embalming machine. It's complete, but it doesn't have the glass jars that would normally be associated with it. Maybe $150.
Appreciate your time, man.
Sure.
But honestly, we're dying to get out of here. So
Okay.
we got to go.
Brandy, thank you. Enjoy living with this guy. Pretty crazy.
Thank you.
Yep.
The kids and I are at Santino Brothers Wrestling School to talk to Joey and Sylvia. It's like that.
Right there.
At least I hope we're talking.
Hey, what's up, Ivy?
Hey there.
How are you? Ready to jump in the ring?
Oh, old man style.
Hey, whatever
There you
gets you
go,
in here.
So getting up is the hard part.
So how long have you guys been teaching here in the school?
The school's been open for 10 years. We have everybody of every different walks of life. I think everyone grows up watching wrestling and they love it.
Well, this right here looks a lot similar to that.
Oh, hey.
I guess this is the wraparound part right here. Huh?
Yeah,
Yeah,
this is
turnbuckle
the tab. These are actually really nice. I assume you got probably 12 of these, right? Yeah, looks like it. That's how we can tell it's for sure a wrestling ring, because the boxing will have more ropes.
So it looks like I just need the pole and I'm ready to go.
Yeah, just need the framework and you're good.
Now that's my favorite part.
Yes. Yeah.
I thought it was time.
A lot of the bells today, they don't look like this.
Oh, old school.
Yeah.
Very old school. I like that.
So is this fine gonna make me a champion, or did I get pinned today? Give it to me hard.
Get about $1,000 right here.
Woo.
Yeah,
Raise the arm.
sure.
Champ right
What,
here.
the other arm too? Come on, boy.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Show some more. Show the
Hey,
arms. Come on.
music,
Okay, hey,
Ivy.
that's pretty
Music,
good.
Ivy.
Heidi Calvin was the ultimate fighter, wrestling up over 4,000 smackaroos, while most people would die to get Jared and Brandy's $2,300. Edwina and Sheena tapped into an extra 2,000 bucks. And Dave Hester learned once you go black, you never go flannel.
Okay, you guys, you make sure the wheel's signed to you guys.
There you go. Breakdown rest.
Bill, you ready?
Lock and load.
All right, man. Let's do it.
Meet the salvage pirates.
We go into some of the most dangerous places in the world.
Who risk their lives hunting for loot.
Drug traffickers, they're still in the area.
With a notorious past.
We take bad guys' toys. This is one of the drug planes. And we turn them into a cat. When you and he's walking from there, he's going to pay us, right? This thing's getting worse and worse by the minute.
Pirate Traders. Wednesdays at 9 on History.
This is a planet in the making. A 4.5 billion year old creation that has become home. How the Earth was made starts Sunday at 8 on History 2.
I need to talk to you about something, and I don't want you to judge me. I just want you to listen to what I have to say.
I don't judge.
All right, let me ask you this.
All right.
What do you feel about listening to Ed Sheeran in the van?
The dude with the red hair.
Millions of hot, screaming women.
That's not
Can't be wrong, can they?
That's not a bad place to be.
Okay.
I mean, to tell you the honest God truth, I'm going to admit something. As long as we're getting it out there, every once in a while, when I feel like mellowing out, I listen to a little Taylor Swift. You know, Mike, I'm going to tell you, I don't think we need to have that in the van.
Really?
Really.
Yeah, you're probably right.
So let's just agree that we listen to 80s.
All right.
Get back to the mullet, you know.
We're getting close, Frankie. This is it right here.
All right.
Hey, Chris?
Yes.
Hey, I'm Mike. This is Frankie.
How you doing?
Nice to meet you. Yeah, nice place here.
Well, thank you.
Very cool.
How you doing? Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. I'm seeing half the stuff on this list.
Right
out
around
here and outside.
Oh, that's some cool stuff here.
Let me ask you this. Is there any advertising on these barns that's for sale?
Oh, yeah. Make me an offer.
Frank, make him an offer.
This looks like a good pick. I'm seeing some old buildings. I'm seeing signs outside. He's got some old cars. It's Junkorama. What's this big one back here?
That's a Coca-Cola. Pretty rough.
Whoa. This is a biggie. I mean, it looks to be from the 1930s, but we're going to have to pull it out so we can get a better look. What would you have to have for the rough Coca-Cola?
I'd like to get $400 for it.
It's big.
Ready to go?
Oh, yeah, it'll clean up.
1935.
Was it found locally?
Yes. Within about a mile of here.